and welcome to the Borealis Experience. I'm your host Aurora, life coach and companion on this beautiful journey called life. If ever you feel the need to invest in yourself, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're not quite reaching your goals, your dreams, your potential, don't hesitate and reach out to me and we'll make a plan on how I can help you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. I deeply appreciate you listening. I deeply appreciate connecting with you over Facebook or Instagram. It's just, an incredible blessing to be able to connect with people through my podcast here. Thank you. Take a deep breath for a moment. If you're not driving a car, a bicycle, or operating machinery, feel free to close your eyes if it feels comfortable. And again, take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale through your mouth. All too often we forget to breathe. Yes, we do it unconsciously. But if we focus a little bit more, if we pay a little bit more attention on how shallow or deep our breath is, you will notice that you're able to hack into your nervous system, influence your nervous system. Same goes for when you don't pay attention. You can suddenly or over time become anxious, become uncomfortable in your skin. And you might blame the outside world for it, but maybe it was you not paying attention enough to your physical needs. So this is what I've experienced in the last couple of days. You dear followers on Facebook have read my post, and I'm so deeply appreciative for all the love and kindness and healing vibes that you sent my way as I expressed myself openly and honestly, transparently. It was through breathing techniques, going for a walk, eating nourishing foods, not watching the news, and surrounding myself with good people that I was able to balance my emotional, mental state out. It took a little bit of time, but I was not in a rush. Sometimes we try to Netflix, we try to Amazon our feelings away. Of course, the negative feelings, right? When we're in a good mood, when we feel light, then we're less inclined to wanting to distract ourselves. We're more in the moment. But it is truly an art and a balancing act to be able to stay in the moment when you don't feel comfortable, when you feel consumed by your thoughts, consumed by your emotions, when you feel like you are your thoughts, you are your emotions. It is very hard to see an end. It's very hard to know that it is just a phase, it is just temporary. And it is something that we want to get out of as quick as possible. But the quick fix, as you can imagine, is not always a sustainable solution. So what I'm learning right now is to communicate when I'm not feeling 100%. And there also it is important to know that I'm not doing that to burden people or to make people help me. I'm communicating this for them to know why I might be a little bit more distant, why I might be a little bit more quiet, but not for others to fix me. You will see once you do that there is people around you who instantly jump into rescue mode and wanting to help you and wanting to support you. And that's totally okay. That's so awesome and so precious, and you can't take in the love and the healing vibes from others, but not in a taking fashion. You accept their gift, but you know that you are responsible for how you feel and nobody else. And to and to know that you can sit in it for a while, and you can be down and low for a while, but you also know that it is temporary and that you will be able to find the tools to get yourself out of the funk. I find too often we are in resistance of not feeling well. We hate uncertainty. We hate pain and suffering. We hate feeling disconnected. We hate when people are not in agreement with us. And we instantly jump into a reactive mode, resistance mode. And it is okay. It doesn't make you a bad person if you do. But what I'm learning on my journey here, and what I want to share with you, is that it's a huge waste of energy. It is okay to be sitting in discomfort for a little bit and to figure things out and to find out, okay, what is it that is bugging me right now? What is it that's still hurting me? But then instantly to think about solutions is sometimes not an option, right? Sometimes people are trying to help you and give you advice and are very busy and trying to make you feel better. But even that can feel abusive at times. Did you ever experience that? When you felt very low and tired and somebody was trying to cheer you on and it just didn't feel right. It didn't resonate with you. You were resistant to that joyous vibe of another person. And that's perfectly fine, because you have to create that joyous vibe, that uplifting vibe inside of you. You have to learn that. And this is what I'm hoping to help you with my podcast and with my videos on Facebook, and me being active as a life coach and a personal trainer and a podcaster. That's my biggest wish, to give you tools to be fully authentic with your suffering and your pain that you might go through or will be going through in the future, because it's part of life, but to then have the right tools in your back pocket and to know that you can shovel yourself out of it. Take a couple deep breaths now. Sometimes when we listen attentively to something, we tend to hold the breath. We tend to go shallow. Try to deepen your breath again, and I'll do the same. What I'm also learning right now is that sometimes we feel consumed by our emotions. I received some devastating news from Germany, and also this I shared on Facebook. It was a friend of my brother committing suicide. And it really knocked me off my feet. I know that my efforts, my work here is not going to prevent every person from committing suicide. This is not the power I have. I'm doing my best to understand people, to listen to people, to let people express themselves on my show. But that suicide really knocked me off my feet, and I was so sad. And at the same time, I was able to keep my mission in mind, my heart mission, to show up for you, to be there Mondays and Thursdays, to produce something, to create something that helps you, makes you feel good, and gives you strength, inspires you, and makes you independent and empowered in who you are. And it is the first time in my life, I think, that it happened this way, because I'm doing something that truly brings me joy, and the mission, my vision, is stronger than temporary strong emotions that might lead me off my path. So maybe you've gone through extreme pain in the past. I'm sure when you listen to me, you can relate. I'm sure if you listen to my podcast that you've gone through a lot and you made it to the other side. And you're still here. You're wanting to grow. You're breathing. You can be so incredibly proud of yourself. And maybe next time you go through pain, you can remember my words and know that pain and suffering is part of life. And it is so critical and important to find an activity, something, some call it your purpose, your soul purpose, that helps you to get up in the morning no matter what. No matter what's happening around you, no matter what's happening to you, you have that strong drive to serve and engage in that activity, because it helps you on several levels, but it also helps others. When you don't engage in that activity, you feel like you didn't really live that day. You didn't really connect with people, or you didn't really give your best. But when you are, even though you fail at times, you're failing forwards, and you keep being driven with your mission. I wish that upon every person that I meet. I wish them that they find something that gives them true joy, and at the same time serve other people, no matter what. No matter what you're going through, it is going to be an anchor for you as well. Right? I went through some dark times here, but for me to show up for you, to produce my podcast here for you, felt like a soul calling, something that I needed to do in order to make me feel better, in order to heal, in order to find my true north. And this is what can guide you through suffering and pain. This is what's going to make you a more stable human being. Yes, you will depend on others. You will fall in love with others and, sometimes lose a piece of yourself in another person. But you have that one activity, or maybe several activities, that anchors you down, that brings you true joy and contentment. And it will not always be easy. You will sometimes have to fight for it, and sometimes it will feel draining, and sometimes you will be frustrated. It's not always unicorns and rainbows, even with an activity that is so extremely nurturing for your soul. But deep down inside, you will know this is the right path. You're going to stick to it. You're going to commit to it fully. Just like some people fully commit to a partner. You can fully commit to an action, to a mission. And you can do both. You can commit to a partner. You can commit to a mission. But most importantly is that you commit to yourself, and that you take your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts serious to some degree. But you know that you are not your feelings, you are not your thoughts. especially if you are a person who watches the news and reads the newspaper, you have to distinguish. You have to make sure that you don't feel powerless by all this negativity. You have to know that, yes, there's the news and there's the stuff happening in the outside world, but who are you in all this? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a nervous wreck that runs from one corner to the other and screams like a chicken with a head chopped off? Or do you want to center into yourself, into your mission, and keep pushing for that mission? Because you know it gives you a deep sense of belonging, a deep sense of love and connection. And that is so incredibly important. And this is what got me out of my darkness here yesterday. If ever you feel like requesting an episode, if ever you want to comment, if ever you want to give me feedback on this, feel free to message me and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Take really good care of yourself, and if you want to send me a little token of appreciation, there's a link in the notes called Buy Me a Coffee where you can buy me a coffee. All right, I leave you with this, and I will be back out there on Thursday talking about masculine sexuality. What are we getting right about a man's sexuality, and what are we getting totally wrong? An interview with a life coach, the life coach who pretty much saved my life 6 years ago. So I'm excited to introduce him to you.